Hey guys, Harley Wood here. Today on the table I have for review a PJ holster. It is a Kydex holster. It was my first experience into the Kydex world of holsters. And at the time I didn't have anything to compare it to, so it was great. This is for the XDS 45. I did actually just get mine back from the recall after being gone for 7 or 8 weeks. The gun is clear. No magazine, safety check there. A little bit frustrated with this holster, to be honest with you, or I was at least. And I had to do some work to get it to a point where I was, I don't want to say happy with it, but I was satisfied with it. It's not the thickest Kydex, so if you're, but it is somewhat sturdy. You can see I can collapse it there with pretty minimal effort. I mean, one of the things I didn't like is that if your belt is somewhat tight and you draw your weapon, it does collapse a little. Now, I come from a world, I've been wearing leather holsters for, I don't know, years, and that was almost always the problem. And, a lot of leather companies, Alessi is pretty much my leather holster of choice for my 1911, and they'll wrap an extra band of leather around just to keep the holster open if you have to draw your weapon. It's an okay holster, this PJ holster. My biggest frustration was with the retention of it, to be honest with you. And, it's a holster. It should retain your firearm, So I had to do some things with it. I'll show you a perfect example. Here is the magazine carrier that comes with it. And here's an example of the retention problems. I'm just going to hold it by the clip so you can see that I wasn't doing anything to cause what just happened. Look, I'm just holding it by the clip. That's a problem. If you look at how he created these, it's kind of hard to tell. He just, I don't know, just wrapped the Kydex around something, a piece of wood. I don't know what he's wrapping it around. Very, very thin. There is absolutely no purchase with this thing. I would not recommend this. I would not recommend, I think this was an extra $10 or $12. I don't know. It's been a year or so. I would not recommend that you waste your money on this thing. The PJ holster, I think it was $40 or $50 after shipping and handling. It's fairly thin Kydex. I have another review of this Zorn holster. You can go check that out on my page. It's much thicker. We're not reviewing the Zorn on this one, though. So I was frustrated with this. All right, my biggest point of frustration with the retention, though, was in this area right here. I actually had to take the rubber washer out of here to try to collapse it even more and tighten this down, and it still didn't hold the firearm. So what I ended up doing was putting the firearm back in it. You can hear it has a nice good click now, and it does hold now. Now that thing's not going anywhere. But I had to do the work to make it do that. I had to heat this thing and squeeze these in. And if you do that, by the way, wear gloves or something, because when this gets hot, it'll give you a good burn. I had to squeeze these in and mold them so that it would actually retain that firearm. And you can hear, I love that click. And I'm going to do that to the magazine carrier here eventually. But I don't even know. I mean, there's nothing, like this will click into the trigger well. I don't even know what this is going to click into, One thing I could think he could do to make these better is maybe put a piece of rubber in here or something to give it some bite on this. Now, granted, that's going to make his production costs go up. I get it. But I'd rather pay $15 or $18 for something that worked than something that if I'm running, you hear that? I would never wear that. This is an inside the waistband, so it would probably hold a little better than that, but give me a break. I mean, I would be afraid to run with this because I'd fear that it would come out. You can hear it. So anyway, this is my review of the PJ holster for the XDS 45. I did order this as soon as the XDS had come out. Maybe he's gotten better with them now. These have been out, I don't know, a year and a half now. So I don't know, maybe it's gotten better. The fit and finish on them is okay. I mean, he polishes the edges. You can see here that there is kind of a lip right there where if you look at the quality of this Zorn holster, I mean, he makes these things absolutely perfect. So again, take it for what it's worth. This Zorn holster was probably only $15, $20 more than the PJ holster. But the PJ holster is a decent holster. I'm not going to say that I wouldn't buy it if you want to do an entry level into the Kydex market. Will I buy another one? Probably not. So if you've had a good experience with them, hit it up in the comments and, let people make their own decisions based on lots of feedback. But that is my review of the PJ holster. Thanks, guys.